why parents smack their children. What's the reason why parents they beat their children or they smack their children? Or sometimes you see parents saying that they smack their children on the bottom, or they smack their children on the ribs, or they smack their children the legs, something like that. That's a excuses that they give why they smack their children. So why are parents smacking their children? That's what we discuss in this evening. And I would like you to leave your comment on the comment section. I will read out some of them. Once again, welcome to Wano. If you are joining us for the first time, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Wano YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter, Wano_JJ. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, on Wano on Facebook. And all of these platforms, we are live there at the moment, so you can join us on any one of them. You're listening to Bevin's Apasino. We're discussing on why parents still smack their children, or why parents smacking their children. What's the reason why parents smacking their children? A mother sent her niece to the grocery store to buy some food stuff. On her way back, she lost the change from the money her mother gave to her for the food stuff. It was not intentional. She put the money in her dress pocket without knowing that the money fell while she was putting in the money in the pocket. Getting home, she dropped the food stuff and was about to give her mother the remaining balance from the grocery. But she couldn't find the money. She was sure that she put the money in her pocket. She's confused how she lost the money. Her mother accused her of using the money on herself, buying stuff like sweet, biscuit, buying stuff from the grocery store. And she started what? The little girl, she started crying. While she's crying, her mother got angry and started smacking her mercilessly with anything she can lay her hands on. As she was smacking her, she's saying, next time I give you money to buy something, you need to be careful with the money. Don't you know that money is not easy to get? And so on. She was smacking the girl because she lost the money. This is one of the stories. There are a lot of other stories like this. Many parents have smacked their children because of one reason or the other. To some, their children are stubborn. Some of them, their children are very stubborn. They don't listen. So they need to be smacked. They need to teach a lesson. They need to correct them. Because if they don't smack them, they will not be corrected. They will don't know what they're doing. If most of you that are following us on Facebook, if you open Facebook, sometimes you will see a lot of things going on, a lot of stories. You see some children, people around, they just come to their rescue to get them out from their parents or from their guidance, people they are living with. They smack them mercilessly. Sometimes they use stick, iron, to press them on their bottom or something. You see children, a lot of them, they are injured. They hurt them. Why? Because they want to correct them. Understand? So this evening, that's why we're discussing. I want you to call me. Let me know why. If you're a parent or you're a guardian, or you're still, maybe you don't have a children yet, but you really know what I'm talking about. Why are parents still smacking their children? Why are parents smacking their children? What is the reason why they smack their children? The line is open. So I would like you to call me. Call me, let me know what you think. Why? Why are parents smacking their children? Being raised in an African home, our culture permits that parents should smack their children. Like I said, our culture permits that parents should smack their children to correct them. Say from making mistakes, yes, that's the way it is. So majority or many Africans, those are even the adults now, still have children now, majority of them, let's just say many of them, many families, they still do the same. They smack their children. And the way they always just justify their actions, they use a verse in the Bible. It's an adage in the Bible. The Bible passage or just a verse in the Bible. It's always say, spare the rod and spoil the child. That's Proverb 13:24 is in the Bible. That's the adage. They always use that verse to support the smacking. Most of them, when you ask them why they stay smacking the children, they will tell you to give you the verse. They need to be corrected. If you don't smack the children, if you spare the rod, you're spoiling the child. That is what they use to justify their actions. Which means that if you do not punish a child when they do something wrong, they will not learn from it. They will not learn from what is right or what is wrong. So they need to be smacked. Smack them. Some of them go to the extent of not even smacking. They will use a stick or a cane, we call it. They will smack and flog the child mercilessly. Many of you that are watching me, you understand where I'm coming from. Many of you maybe have experienced the same. So because of this verse, they always justify themselves. Parents always use it to justify themselves. Spare the rod and do what? Spoil the child. Because of that, West African homes, even in the Western world, majority of them, they use that verse as well to justify their actions. They smack their children because of that, in order to correct them. Many children have grown into adults with scars. They go from the smacking and beating. They go from their parents and guidance. Many children, they've grown with scars. Mentally, physically, they've grown with that. The smacking they got from their parents and the guidance. Mind you that most times if you're smacking your child, if you raise your hand to smack, you notice something. They always try to do what to defend themselves. They always try to hide because they already start crying already. Because they are scared. They are afraid. Sometimes they cannot defend themselves from the smacking. To some people, they call it beating. Why are parents doing that? Many of you know that many developed countries have banned any form of smacking of children, any form of smacking of children. Many developed countries have done that. They ban it. To some, it's illegal. To some countries, it's illegal to smack your child in the leg. It's illegal to smack your child in the hands or the wrists. It's illegal to smack them on the bottom. Some countries, they ban it. Some Western countries, they ban it. It's illegal. Even in Sweden, I think it was banned. They were the first country in the world to ban it. Sweden were the first country in the world to ban any physical punishment at all. Any physical punishment at all on children. Any physical. Since 1979. 1979, that's when they started the ban. Other countries joined them. Many of them, I think it's almost like 63 nations have joined them to do that, to ban smacking of children. Any physical action, any physical punishment, anything, children. Even recently, I think a couple of weeks ago, the Welsh government followed Sweden and other 63 countries to ban any physical punishment. A couple of weeks ago, they joined them. Scotland, they banned their own, 2020, they banned any physical smacking, any physical punishment. They banned it, 2020. Still, some other countries, they just make an alleyway, just make it to be, it's not that they ban it properly or outwardly, they just make it a little bit easier for parents, yeah. Some parents, they still use the loophole to smack their children. Like in England, I don't think they ban it outright. I don't think so. They've banned it fully because some parents, they still using the excuse about reasonable punishment in their defense to smack their children because they cannot defend the reasonable. You understand? So you can smack your child on the bottom or something like that. But if there's any scars on it, it's going to be a big problem. So they're using reasonable punishment in their defense. Understand? But that's not what we're discussing this evening. I just want to find out why. Reasons. What are the reasons why parents smack their children? You can put on the comment section what you think. Remember that when you, like I said earlier, when you're smacking your child, when you raise your hand to smack your child, most times they don't defend themselves because they cannot defend themselves. The only thing they can do is to cry. And they cry. That's it. They cry. Depends on how the smacking is. If it's a cane, I think it's more painful. If you use your hands, sometimes depends on why you smack. It's always painful. The child cries. But why do you do that? Why do you do that? Because, like I said, African families, culture as well, they use that. They use the verse, the Bible, that says, spare the rod and spoil the child. That is in their defense. They use that. Well, what they mean, that you have to do what? Smack a child to correct them. Someone got to the extent of saying that when you smack the child, the shock that they gain from the smacking, the pain that they gain from the smacking will do what? Will be in their brain, in their head. They will never forget it. And that will make what? Make them to do what? Don't to do that thing again. What they were doing. That they will not do it again. That is the reason why they smack in the child. Like I said, most of the reasons is for what? To correction. For corrections, they're correcting the child. That's the reason why. I would like to hear from you. What do you think? Why parents smack children? The scenario I used at the beginning. The mother gave her daughter money to go to the grocery store to buy something. On the way, when she finished buying what she wanted to buy, she bought the stuff she wanted. On her way coming back, the change that she got from the money her mom gave her, she wanted to put inside her pocket. Without knowing that the money has already fell, she went home and made the mom and gave the mom the stuff that she bought from the grocery store. The mother did what? Ask her, I need my money. What's the money? The change that you got from the money I gave to you. What happens? She checked in her pocket and everything. She couldn't find the money. That is it. Straight away. What happens? The mom starts smacking her. Give her a throat beating and all that. Why? What's the reason why she smacked? Okay? What's the reason why she smacked the girl? The girl, she lost the money, right? In the defense of the verse that we normally use. So the mom has to smack her so that she will not do what? She will not lose the money again. Next time she give her money to go to the grocery store, she will be what? Very careful to hold the money. What if the mom just find a way, another way, just to talk to her, tell her what she did was wrong? It was a mistake, yes. Was it a conscious mistake? Maybe. She could have done better. She could have kept the money safe. Smacking her, beating her up, will it make her not to lose the money next time? What do you think? Remember that if it's let's just say, the mom, if it's her husband or her boyfriend or something, an adult that went to the grocery store, on his way or her way coming back, he lost the money. If he gets home, will she beat him? Where is the change? The change you got from the grocery? Maybe she will ask the husband. And the husband will say that, what? Oh, no. I think I lost it. I think we got a call.
Hello?
Hello, welcome to...
Evening.
Good evening, welcome to Wano. The topic this evening, why are parents smacking their children? I would like to get your opinion on it.
Yeah, I love the topic. The reason why some parents smack their children is for correction.
Okay.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
It's for correction. No mother will like his or her child to be useless. Understand?
Okay.
So in children, you have the heady ones. What I mean, the stubborn ones. You understand? You have the one that they doesn't fear. It's through that smacking that you can correct them. It depends on the problem or the issue at hand.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have the ones that you can use a word to correct,
Okay.
right?
I'm listening. Yeah.
So there are two classes there.
So.
Those heady ones or the stubborn ones. If you want to correct them by a word, they will not hear. You have stubborn ones. They don't take things serious. They are careless. So it's through that smacking that you can correct them, bring them closer. You understand? And you have the ones that once they did something within themselves, they will have that remorse that they have done wrong.
Okay.
Those ones, you don't need to smack them. For those ones, they are a little intelligent. You understand?
Okay.
You can call them and tell them, see. In life, you don't do this, you don't do that. You advise them. And through that advice, you see, they will not repeat that thing again. They will be careful. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So those heady ones, you call them, you keep repeating yourself severally. Like you use that your example you gave there.
Mm-hmm.
You said that a mother sent her child to buy something and hoping to return the change.
Mm-hmm.
And the out of her own carelessness, she misplaced the change. That's why I say there are some children, they will be serious over anything their mom sent them. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the word of advice and upbringing you have been giving them, they will be careful and conscious of anything. Those ones, I don't believe you need smacking to correct them because they are intelligent. Those you have another set. Today, you give that person money to go and buy something. Some of them will eat the money due to the group or the friends they meet. You have bad ones. They say full seed corrupt another. So those ones, you don't need to use the word because once you say, they will be looking at you. If you don't put action, they will not learn.
Okay.
Understand?
All right.
So smacking is good. Yeah.
So you're in your defense, you're saying that, like, well, African, we all grow in African home. So
Yeah.
normally the verse I said to you, spare a rod and spoil a child.
And spoil the child.
Okay, that's what they normally use in their own defense, right?
No, it's biblical.
I know.
It's biblical now.
That's what I'm saying. It's in
biblical.
the Bible. It's in
yeah.
I think it's a Proverb 13:24.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Proverb. Yeah,
okay.
Right.
With that, parents use that to smack their children, and you find out that the only thing I want to ask you about is this. I said why. You said why. Now you told me the reason why is that to correct the child, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. There some of them are stubborn. That they need to be smacked for them to do what?
Yeah.
To correct them.
Yes, to be corrected.
Okay. And what I wanted to say about that is this. Well, when the child is smacked, because most times in Africa, it's not about smacking, it's beating. You understand?
Yeah.
Smacking, normally in the Western world, they use smacking because they beat you. They just take and just use their hand and put you on the bottom or on the ribs or somewhere. Africa, they don't do that. They use cane to beat you thoroughly. You understand? So when they're beating their child, when you beat that child the first time, what happens? Will the child repeat what he or she been doing?
That's what I'm saying. You have two classes of people. There are some children.
Mm-hmm.
There are some children.
Okay.
When you smack them or when you beat them over their wrongdoing, they will not learn. Tomorrow they will still repeat that thing again.
That's what I'm saying. Would they that
You
beating?
know,
That beating
once
did it help?
once they are used to,
The beating did it help?
some some will help, while some will not help. It depends on the first hand. It depends on the first upbringing. Smacking is not the best all the time, Sha. There are some issues that you bring in smacking, but to me, if you use smacking on a child every time, the child will get used to that thing, and those things will not, he will not be afraid of it again.
That's what I was asking you. So if you knows that you keep smacking the child, you keep smacking the child, you keep on doing the same thing again, and the ones they're doing that, sometimes what they normally do, they feel that their parents or their guardian hate them. That they hate them. That's the reason why they always smack them all the time. Because if you have two children, one of them might be manipulative, like what you say, that they're smart. It's not that they are very smart. The thing is just they are manipulative. They will do those things that they're gonna do in front of you in order for you, because they know that you're not gonna smack them. But the other one, because he's always like, is already been labeled as well, the stubborn one. So what do you normally do? They're always smacking, and the ones they smacking the first time, second time, third time, what do you think he's gonna do? You say yes. At the end of the day, what will they do? They're gonna smack me. You get used to that smacking.
That's the thing. So that's why I say there are some children that you use the smacking, while there are some you will not use the smacking. That you use a word of advice. You understand? You use the word of advice.
But the smacking didn't help. It didn't help at the first time. So why are you using it again?
Yeah. There are some, it's under probability. It's 50-50. It's 50-50. You will not say once you use smacking on a child, you will just correct that child totally. It's wrong. It can. Because when you keep doing that, the child will be used to that thing. And once you're used to it, he will not be afraid of it again. You say once you do something, you say after all, mom or dad will smack me. And then everything will go off. You understand? So the child will keep doing it because it has come part of him or her. You understand?
Okay. And
so so to me, the smacking is, as I said, it's 50-50. There are some you use, there are some you call that person. Whenever a child does the thing or does wrong, after beating that person, you call that person's attention and tell him, see this. What he did is not good. It's because of this thing you did, I flog you, so that you will not do that mistake again. Right? You say you have imparted something in that person. But when you just do that and without telling the person the reason, the person will feel that you hate him or her.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah, but what if you did the same thing without smacking the child? What if you call the same way you did? What if the same way you did now, you talk to the child or call the child closer and talk to the child and explain to the child what he or she did that you didn't like, that they shouldn't do it again, instead of smacking them?
It depends on the children you have. As I say, you have the stubborn ones. Once you'll be using orally, talking to them orally, some will take it for granted. They will say, mommy is petting them. When you call petting, you say, mommy is petting him or her. But once you want to tell that child that you are serious over what you are saying, it's when you now bring in smacking. You understand? For the child to know that you are serious over that thing. You understand?
Okay.
We all are victim of it. At the long run, you will know that what they are doing is good because they are correcting you. But there are some parents that did it out of maybe wickedness, or they purposely want to wicked that child. But there are some, it varies. There are some that wants to smack to correct you, for you to be somebody or useful in society. Understand?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand. I understand where you're coming from. Like
Yeah.
you already said that. Okay, there are two classes. One, a child that
Yeah.
is labeled as stubborn, and
Yes.
what if that child maybe because he was labeled as being stubborn? What if the child has been trying ways maybe to seek attention? Because most times, when children they try to seek attention, maybe, but no one is giving them attention, and in order for them to
That
get attention, they try to exhibit some
that
characters
is the
which
reason.
what the parents
That's
normally
the
say that
reason
stubborn.
why that's the reason why I said there are some parents that wants to use it for correction, and there are some parents that wants to use it maybe because of their nature. The nature, you have sadists, you have sadist parents, those one if they want to correct, they can go to a length. There are some parents that can use metal objects
Okay.
to flog their children. It's not normal. It's not normal. So, and you parents, you have a work to do there. You study your children. You know how to follow them. Everything is not flogging, shouting, blah, 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 blah. Once you come in, the children will be afraid. They will not have that parental relationship. It's not like that.
You already see
A
that
parent need to,
a bit. You're already a bit like contradict what I said as well, because you already said that.
you know
And
the
when you
you
start,
know the the issue you brought in is so vast.
okay,
It has many branches
Mhm.
and roots,
Okay.
because once you are entering this one, it will bring another one. It bring another one. It bring another. You are dealing with children. Children, their mentality is somehow, so it's vast.
Okay,
It's vast.
all right.
The reason what you are asking there, the bone of contention there is whether it's good or not.
Yeah, that's
There are
what I'm
some
asking. Why? As the
cases
reason
that,
why are parents smacking
yeah,
their kids? Why?
the reason why is for correction. It's for correction.
They want
Because
to.
there are some kids that you will be talking to them orally, they will take it for granted. But there are some, once you use that smacking to bring them back, to call their attention, to tell them that they're supposed to do this, they're supposed to be serious. They bring that seriousness in them.
Okay, like if I
Yeah.
don't want to go to that end, because that's gonna be what we're gonna discuss tomorrow evening.
Okay.
If
Okay.
you've been smacked, what
Yeah.
did you gain from it as an individual? Because majority of Africans, a majority even white people over here, some of them they've been smacked from their parents. So when the parents smack them, what did they gain from it? Now I'm just asking, why are parents smacking the kids? This is from the parents' perspective.
I've told.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna
told
that
you
one's gonna
now.
be tomorrow to find out what
Okay.
what the children, what did they get from that. But what as discussing this evening, you said to correct them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, to put
Yeah,
them.
because no parents want bad for his or her child. You understand? So they say nothing good comes easy. You understand?
Okay.
For your child,
Mhm.
for a child to be useful in life or in society, the child need to pass through stages. Once you are giving a child food without teaching him or her how to get the food, at the wrong, the child will have a problem. That is the reason why some children or some ladies in their husband's house, you have a broken homes. You have a broken homes because of you didn't tell them or teach them that primary things they're supposed to know. You didn't correct them because you are pampering them.
Okay.
Once they go into their own house, they messed everything up.
All right. I want to ask you one question.
You understand?
I want to ask you one question before I let you go. All right. Let's assume your partner, she went to the grocery store. You are the way you gave her money to buy something from the grocery store. On her way coming back, the same thing that happens. She lost the change from the grocery store, and she came back and she gave you the stuff that she bought from the grocery store. Then you requested for your change, and she don't have it.
Yeah.
Will you beat her up?
Yeah. No, you don't beat her up. Even the parents that sent the child an errand, sometimes you do mistakes.
Okay, so that's why I asked.
Understand?
You said
You don't.
wait. You said no. You can't. You're not gonna beat her up. Why?
You ask her question. From her question, you know what to do. You can't beat her because it's a mistake.
So why did
it's
you?
Not intentional act.
So why did you beat the child?
So why did I beat?
It's the same thing.
Why did I beat a child? There are some. That's why I told you there are some things you beat a child to correct him or her.
I said
there
to you now.
There are some issues. There are some cases.
But there are some women. There are some adults. There are some adults that are stubborn.
Okay, let me use this one now. Say, in a home, you have your own visitors. You understand? You and the visitors, you brought something to present to them, or as a cola or anything, and you have a little child in the home, at home. In presence of the visitors, your child will come in and bring and put his hand and started eating that thing. You know, it's not a good training. You need to beat that child and correct that child.
What if you talk to the child? I understand it's a vast, how will I say, it's a vast question. Everybody, mostly they have the children are different. The way parents, the way parents train their children, they are different, all the same. But the majority of the Western worlds, about 63 countries, they've done that. They ban it. And all of them, they know they have a reason why. And the reason why they ban it is just the question I ask you now. That was the reason. When an adult, just 1 minute. When an adult does something, that you don't beat the adult. So why do you beat a child that you know that the child will not defend themselves? That is the reason why most of them ban it.
Let me tell you, there are many ways to beat somebody. An adult, you will not beat him with an instrument, but your character you portray or the word you give to that adult is equally or is equivalent that you beat that person. That's why you call it an adult. You cannot use cane and start beating him. But there are ways you do for him to know. There are some things you deprive him of in respect of what she or he did.
Why didn't you do the same with the child? The same thing.
Because this one is a child. You assume that you call that one an adult. You assume that he has learned a lot. He has reasoning. He's matured. But this one is a child. He's still growing.
But it's the same
what
mistakes.
Adults, what is
it's the same mistake.
They are the same mistake, but they are not the same maturity. Do you see where I'm going?
I understand where you're coming from, but you know that
you can't use an adult to compare with a child. It's not done.
An adult, because you know why? You know the reason why you don't beat the adult.
Yeah.
Because the adult will do what? They will defend themselves.
They
will fight you.
Will retaliate back.
Yeah, they will fight you back.
He will retaliate back.
Yeah, but the child will not do that. That was the reason why.
There are some child that will do that too. Some child that will do that.
And that's the reason why I wanted to go to do what I'm saying now. The reasons that you shouldn't do that. I just give a few reasons. One, you are teaching the child that it's normal to be physical to another. You know, when you're beating a child, right? You beat the child first time, you smack the child with a cane. Second time, you beat the child properly. They cry and go and just come back again. What does that do? You are teaching them to be physical. You're teaching them that it's normal for them to do what? Be physical to another child. That's why you see some of them, instead of them talking to another child, even their brother or sister, they will use their hands to do what? To communicate to them, instead of using their mouth just to talk.
Okay. Let me ask you one question. Hello?
Yeah, go on.
When you were small, were you smart?
That's for tomorrow. That's for tomorrow evening.
Okay. Okay, so that, okay.
That's for tomorrow.
No problem.
Evening.
I rest my case.
All right.
Okay, I rest my case.
Thank you.
I rest my case. You're welcome.
Thank you for calling. I'm tuning tomorrow.
You're welcome.
Tune in tomorrow to ask me that question. I'll answer you.
Okay.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so what we're discussing this evening, we're discussing on why parents smacking their kids. And the gentleman that just left now is just saying that they're doing that to correct the child. Okay, so I got a comment from Ikenna Oscar. He said that it's not proper to smack a child. He said it's not proper to smack a child. He must have his own reason why he said that. The gentleman that left, he said that he used two class of children. That one is stubborn and the other one is not stubborn. And the stubborn one, in order to correct this stubborn one, you need to smack the stubborn one for you to correct them. And I asked the question, why don't you smack an adult? I use the same scenario to an adult. He said because the adult will do what? Defend themselves. They will defend themselves. So if adults will defend themselves, why didn't you smack them? Because if you know if you smack them, they're going to smack you back. That's the reason why you don't smack them. And because of that, what happens? You talk, you communicate. You might say to them, don't do that again. Well, I didn't like what you did. So why don't you use the same approach to the child? Use the same approach to the child and talk to the child. Reasons, I said earlier, when you are teaching, what you are teaching your child is that is proper. It's normal for them to do what? To be physical. It's normal for them to beat someone else. They use their hand to smack someone. You see kids, before even they say anything, they start smacking someone already, smacking their friends, smacking their brothers or their sisters, because it's normal for them, because that's what they are taught. That's what they are taught, the way they are taught for them to do what? Resolve issues. Any small issues, they use their hands, they smack, they beat, they throw stuff, they use cane, they smack, all that, because that's the way they were taught. That's the only way they were taught to resolve issues. While it's not supposed to be like that. Understand? It's not supposed to be like that. The number is on the screen, +44 744 982 3879. It's a WhatsApp call. Call me. Let me know what you think. The line is open. Call me. Let me know what you think. Why are parents still doing that? Understand? What some parents don't really understand is that when you raise your hand or you use a cane, or sometimes you see parents, they can use anything their hands touch to throw at the child. Why the child cannot do what? Protect themselves. They cannot even defend themselves because it's a child. Understand? At the process, you can harm the child, isn't it? You can harm the child. You use that cane or you use your hand. You can harm the child at the process of smacking the child. You can harm the child. And sometimes the scars that you put in their body is going to be with them to their adulthood. They will never forget it. It's going to be with them. They will never forget it. It's in their body. So whenever they see the scars in their body, they remember what their parents did to them. And it's a bad experience, and they never forget. They will never forget. That's the reasons why maybe if you're trying to do that, you need to consider that as well. There are other ways to do. Talk to your child. Communicate. Let them know something. Understand? But the line is open. I would like to hear your own view. Why? What do you think? Why are parents still smacking their children? Why? Why are they still smacking their children? According to study, saying that some children, they'll get smacked at early age. They have anxiety-related issues. They're always anxious. They struggle mentally as well in order to cope, according to research. Understand? I don't think it's really good. But like I said, in Africa, where we all grew up, it's a normal occurrence. It's normal. The culture permits it that parents do what? Smack their children. Reasons to correct them. Reasons to teach them lesson. Reasons that when you smack your child, the pain of the smacking will do what? Make them not to do that again. You make them to learn. You make them to do what? Know what is wrong and bad. But to me, yes, we all grow with that. But the child has changed. I asked him, I said, what about when you smack the child? The probability they'll do it again, isn't it? He said, yes, they do it again. So why didn't they stop? You understand? Because Say that some of them, they are used to the cane. They are used to the smacking. So, but what if the child is trying to seek an attention? He need attention. So they do those stuff they do in order to get attention from you. So, but you didn't notice that you're using the smacking every time, thinking that the child is stubborn. Then you keep on smacking the child all the time. Now, mentally, you're damaging the child. Physically, you're hurting the child. You that is doing it, mentally as well, you're stressing yourself. Understand? There are other ways maybe to reach out to children. They reach out to them, to talk to them. I think there are other ways you can use instead of smacking the child, instead of smacking them all the time. So I don't think it's even related to majority of people growing in the areas where they keep smacking their children. The children, they always have anger management, anger issues. They're always angry. They have anger management issues. Angry because, from childhood, they've been like receiving smacking and cane. They're smacking them all the time. They're flogging them. Some even get to the extent of beating their children like mercilessly. They use cane, they use stick, they use anything they hold. They just kill the child, All those things has repercussions. It has problem. It brings a lot of issues to the child. Understand? Yes, I read somewhere where someone said that if you teach your child kindness, the child will grow up to learn to be kind. That if you show your child aggression, they will become aggressive. So being aggressive, because from childhood, what they do, they learn how to be what? All they do to what? Try ways to call what? To protect themselves, ways to do what? Defend themselves, which they cannot do that because a little thing they're being smacked. There's no communication in order to let them know. Yes, I know that sometimes some parents, after smacking, they might call you later and tell you the reason why, what he did. Right, you're scared now. You won't do that more. But is there other ways that maybe they could have communicated or talked to the child in order to let the child know the reason what they are doing is not right? Maybe. So, yeah, gentle. Ken Oscar said it will make a child to be violent at the follow other children. That's why you see so much violence in Africa today. That's what I'm saying. I said if it's related, it will teach them violence. I say it will make them as well to be violent. Instead of them to, if they have issues, instead of them to communicate, instead of them to talk about it, they use their hands first. They try to be violent. They try to be aggressive first before any other thing. They will just use their hands. They will just, first of all, that's the first thing they do. Once they are angry or someone does something bad to them, they never communicate. The first thing that comes in their mind is to what? To use their hands. Being aggressive, they go straight away, immediately, which is really bad because that's what they've been taught. That's the only thing they know. That's the only thing. Majority, some children, that's what the only thing they know. That's the only thing they know. So conflict management is not there. They've never even got anything, the ways to communicate to their own fellow children. Because once you did something or you said to them a word, first of all, what do? They become aggressive. They become physical. They become violent. Immediately, straight away, they smack the other person, they still beating up. Understand? So I don't think it's really, really good. But in Africa, they're still doing it tomorrow. If you open Facebook or open if you see Instagram or something, you can see a lot of them, parents, pictures of kids, children being smacked. It's not really about smacking, being beaten up proper. They use things that you see blood coming out from the body because of what? The parents are angry. They are very angry. They are used to it. Maybe those parents, they were maybe smacked when they were young. And when they were a child as well. That anger is piled up in them. And that's the only way they can express themselves, by doing what? Being violent and being physical to other people. And at this case now, it's to their children. Or people, kids that are under their custody, they beat them mercilessly. They smack them every time. Understand? You know, I don't think it's wise. Like I said, some Western countries, about 63 countries already ban it, smacking children. Right. But it's parents' responsibility. If your child, if it's okay with you, maybe the way you deal with your own children at home, that smacking them, beating them up every time, gonna make them to behave the way you want them to behave. That's your own method. But if you're in the Western world, where all these places maybe they ban smacking children or physical punishment, they say no. So it's not advisable for you to do that. Those in Africa or some part of the world where they still smack their children, they still beat them up and all that, it is their own responsibility. They have the reasons why they're doing that. But most of the reasons why they're doing that, we're gonna find out tomorrow evening, because we're gonna discuss. We're discussing now we're asking individuals if you're smacked, if your parents beat you up, if your parents smacked you, understand what are the effects. What did they gain from it? Did it make you to change? Did they pass the message on to you? Did they make you to become what you are today through the smacking that you receive from your parents? Did it make any difference in your body? Or did it make any difference in your life through the smacking? That's what we're going to discuss tomorrow evening. And this evening today, like I said, yes, the gentleman that called said that they're using that to do what? To correct those children. And you can on the chat, on the comment section, he said, no, that it's not good to smack children. That it's not proper to smack a child, because at the long run, it makes the children to do what? To become violent. Instead of them to communicate or to talk to you when they are angry or you did something bad, they will do what? They become violent. They become aggressive. Do you understand? So, as well, like what I said, I like what this person said. He said that if you teach children kindness, if you teach your child how to be kind, if you show them kindness, when they are wrong, when they did something wrong, you become kind and talk to them. Let them know the reason why you're not going to punish them, or the reason why that you're not going to do, or smack them. The reason why. They will grow up to learn to be what? Kind. They will grow as well to learn to know how to communicate instead of using their hands to being aggressive. You understand? Then if you show them aggression, what do? You are teaching them how to be aggressive. You understand? So whatever dispute they have with someone, instead of them to communicate to the person, what they will do, they become aggressive. They become violent. You understand? So those are the things, All right. Okay, we coming to the end of the program this evening. And thank you guys for tuning in, and those that stay with us to this time. I appreciate. And I said to you again, tomorrow evening, we're still going to carry on with these smacking issues. And I would like you guys to tune in tomorrow, because it's still going to be very interesting. I would like to hear from all of you. Understand? Thank you for staying with us to this time. And God bless you. Make sure you enjoy yourself and take good care of yourself. Until tomorrow, I see ya. Good night.